Hi, I'm Lina. Have you ever wondered why your bodies look stiff and what to do to make it better? Practicing gesture drawing is part of the solution to a more fluid way to draw the body. But how do you practice that? Here are the things that I have learned that help me to make more fluid looking characters. So what is a gesture drawing? A gesture drawing is a fast, loose sketch that focuses on the overall pose and flow of lines in a simplified way. The drawing should also serve as a guide to build anatomy and structure upon. The most important lines to keep track of, which is the C, S, and straight line. When you draw, you can make a combination of these lines that will help you create a flow from one line to the next. So how do you start? Before we draw any gesture, we need to do some warm-ups. Since you need to be pretty flexible drawing lines using your shoulder. So why are you using your shoulder to draw? Your shoulder is much more effective drawing straight lines, circle, ellipses, etc. than your wrist, since your arm can move in a wider distance. I like to use the wrist for very fine details, but try to use my shoulder as much as possible. I will show you a couple of practices that you can use to loosen up your shoulder and help you with line accuracy and confidence. To start off, let's draw some straight lines and curved lines. First, create 2 dots and draw a line connecting the dots with one stroke and try to stay in between them without drawing past one of them. As you can see in some of those, I didn't really do that. As long as you try, it's always good enough. You can always do better next time you practice. After that, we will create a couple of straight lines. Within those straight lines, we do a couple of circles and ellipses that draw in different sizes and space in between them. Try to vary the width of the ellipses. Then we do another version of this where we start with a straight line and make ellipses that expand in width to a circular form. And lastly, I do some freeform ellipses to loosen up a bit. Just doing this might help with confidence in drawing lines, circle and ellipses, but they are not going to improve your drawing much if you don't put them into context. So let's practice some 3D forms. We will create different shapes that we draw in different perspectives and add cross-contour lines that will indicate volume and 3D form, which you will see me draw in red. This is where our practice of different thickness of ellipses will come in handy. When you draw a thinner ellipse, it looks like it turns away from you in perspective, and a thicker ellipse looks like it comes toward you. Then I draw a couple of other shapes, like boxes and cones, in different perspective. The idea here is to be able to draw the primitives and also be able to turn them in space. Then I try to take different geometric shapes and try to bend them in different direction and add some cross contour to that. When you draw the body, manipulating forms is going to be helpful drawing anything organic, like the human body, trees, etc. There are different approaches to gesture drawing. Some people start with the head, feet or torso. All of them are valid places to start, but this is how I do it. The practice where we manipulated forms will come in handy when we do our gesture drawing. If you can bend and exaggerate forms, gesture will be a lot easier to grasp. You can time yourself, but if you start off, you can take as long as you need. Speed comes with practice, so no need to rush it. I start with my version of the Riley method by drawing the shoulders, neck and torso. From there, I place 2 dots which will indicate the end of the clavicle.
which is this landmark right here. Draw a triangle that pushes the upper body in this direction from these two dots. To get the hips, I used the neck to draw a triangle-like shape to get the width, and from there I close the shape at the bottom. Be mindful of the direction of the hips. On my model, the hips are tilted in this angle. I lightly indicate the deltoid as a circle and create dimension to the torso to indicate the perspective of the body. You don't need to nail all the lines straight away, it is okay to correct as you go. That is the entire point, is to get the general proportion down to serve as the foundation for further details. Then I will add arms and hands. Keep in mind that they are cylindrical shapes and I like to draw through them to show volume. Hands does not need to be complicated. I draw it as a mitten and use mostly curved lines to get some character in there. I will add the legs and feet, which will be roughly the same as hands and arms, but I pay attention to how the person is standing and what leg the person is balanced on, and where all the weight of the body is leaning to, which is on the reference this leg right here. As for the feet, I draw them more in a box-like shape. I also make sure that the bumps from the muscle on the leg are going in a diagonal and are not uniformly the same across the figure, otherwise the gesture will lose a sense of flow. Take your time to observe your drawing and the model to see if you have captured the pose accurately. On my drawing, I was pushing the torso out a bit much. If you look at the model, her torso is going in and not out. That is a mistake that can be easily fixed. That's it for me. If you like this video, you can check out more of my videos linked down below or on the screen.